Well, good morning. This video will be in response to the recent video, which is why I've set it to be. I think it's the 19th today. I did look at the calendar. In any case, the title is Very Different Viewpoints. I got a little better sleep last night, though it was interrupted around 1:30 a.m. with a phone call from my son. I have no doubt that he cares, that he really loves me. We have very different viewpoints, though, which I want to cover a bit in this video. Now, before I even get to the covering those viewpoints, I want to say that I've made a mistake in quite a few videos saying that I came home from the hospital in June. That's not true. It was around May 7th, not June 7th, that I came home from Shands in Gainesville. So I actually saw my kids go to school, my grandkids, I mean, go to school for the end of the school year, and that was in April. No, that was in May. Yeah, I came home May the 7th, not June the 7th. I was in the hospital from the end of March through the beginning of May. Anyway, I wanted to make that correction because I said it wrong on a lot of other videos. So I'm just clearing the air there. No, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, to very different viewpoints. My son, unlike me, does not have a very much of a spiritual viewpoint at all. I see the whole world and all of life as spiritual. He doesn't. He sees it as natural phenomenon. This is physical. It's the way it is, and you have to deal with it. I agree that there's a lot of things that this is the way they appear to be. I don't believe it's the way it is. I believe it is appearances. The physical world is appearances. The real world is invisible to the natural eye. That's my viewpoint. See, that's why he and I are at loggerheads sometimes, bashing our heads together, because he's trying to get me to see the medicine and all of the natural stuff that, from his viewpoint, is the only way I'm going to get better. And from me, the only way I'm going to get better is by going to the root of the problem, which is a spiritual issue. And the spiritual issue for me is trust in God. I've got to be honest with you. I'm probably at one of the lowest points in trusting God that I've been my entire life. And that's because of all the pain that I'm suffering, the threat to have my home stolen by banks when I never even had a mortgage, when I made an agreement with them that if I allowed them to have the power of attorney to sell the home and the other property on Merritt Island, that they would let me have this home free, and any additional monies which would have come to me, they could keep. Now, as it turned out, they sold the home for basically the same amount of money that I had owed, but it was on the market for $999,000 in 2005, and even in 2006 and 2007, you could have gotten a lot more money for it. I had two offers in 2005, one for $870,000, one for $850,000, and I would have been able to accept either one of those, except I told them that there was a lawsuit, a lis pendens involved, and they both withdrew their offers. So that's the reality of that situation. But the spiritual aspect of things is something that I have dealt with my entire life. I believe that there's a higher meaning, a higher purpose to life, and that it's not visible. It's something that has to do with seeing the invisible and trusting in a God that we do not see. And I'm frustrated at God because I'm going through such such terrible pain and such lack of energy. And it's really, it's the hugest, biggest challenge of my entire life. And it's difficult for me to keep carrying on. You don't even understand. To go to the refrigerator, I have to stop at the refrigerator and I have to sit down for 5 minutes to catch my breath. Same coming back from the refrigerator. When I go to the bathroom is only through this room and through the next room into the bathroom. And of course, I sit down when I'm in the bathroom. But when I get up, I've got to just sort of stand there and catch my breath again before I make the trip back to the bedroom. It's that serious that I can't go very far without totally losing my breath. I feel like even at talking right now, I feel like I'm straining my breath just by communicating with you. Even if it's not visible to you, even if it doesn't seem tangible, I can feel it in my chest. I can feel the pressure in my chest. And this is something that I have to deal with, and a lot of it has to do with the pressure with the house and with the pressure with the occupancy of the house. I want my home back. I don't want to keep providing it as a free place for my family of 5, my daughter's family, to live. It's time that they took responsibility. I'm willing to help them. I'm willing to do what I can do, but they have to take responsibility for their own the roof over their heads. It's not up to me anymore. And these are the two issues that probably are creating all of this conflict. Of course, if I were to lose the home, it's a moot point whether they stay here or not, because we all lose it. And then what do we do? And I don't know the answer to that, which is why there's a lot of tension. The hearing is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on Monday, and I guess I don't know what all will be determined then. I'm hoping, at the very least, if they prolong the thing, they've done that before because of my being in the hospital, but I'm not in the hospital now, and they might consider that eviction is just what they're going to do. I don't know the answer, and it creates all of this stress, which drains my energy, which makes it very difficult. But my son, as I said, has a very different viewpoint than what I have, and he's looking at it from a purely natural, not a spiritual perspective. And he's going to be talking with me today, and I'm hoping to try again to resolve some of these issues. So I want to thank you again for listening, and keep the whole family in prayer, because we all need it. That includes my son, my daughter and her family, and myself. Please keep us in your prayers, that we might find the best and the most peaceful solution to some of the issues that we face that is possible. Again, thank you for listening, and namaste.